Hello guys, it's me, Right with Carla, and I am here with another self-published author to celebrate the 12 Authors for Christmas. This is a tremendous opportunity for you to be able to support self-published authors as well as get a good read for you or as gifts. Today we are talking to Rekia Beverly. Rekia, how are you doing today?
I'm well, thank you.
I'm good. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
I'm Rekia Beverly. I've been teaching now for 10 years, going on 11. I graduated from Florida A&M with a bachelor's in elementary education, and I received my master's in curriculum and instruction from NOVA.
Okay, how long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching now 10 I'm in, so 11th for this year.
Got some skin in the game, y'all. Skin in the game.
Yes. Lots of practice.
So you have a series called Miss Ashbury's World.
Yes.
Okay, so what was the inspiration for Miss Ashbury's World?
One day I was just reading stories to my class, and oftentimes for back to school, I'll read like Miss Bendergarten Goes to Kindergarten, or Franklin's First Day of School, Author's First Day of School. And then I'm sitting there thinking, no one has written from the teacher's perspective. So I want the world, because people like to limit and say, oh, you've got to put a certain age limit on things. Right. And Mrs. Ashbury doesn't do that. It's the world seeing an insight on what teachers go through and how we prepare, and that we have feelings too.
Right. Good point. So what was your first book of the three? Which was your first?
My first book is Mrs. Ashbury's First Day of School.
Hey.
And yes, this and Keith is the other book character in the story. And what happens is Keith is preparing for the first day of school, because you see back to school commercials all the time. Target's advertising, come pick up your school supplies, and grocery stores, back to school and all that. And I wanted students to see that the teachers are preparing the classroom and actually kind of worrying. So in this book, during the summer, I'm thinking of my classroom theme, especially elementary school teachers. We either have a beach theme.
Yeah, my mom used to always have me helping her.
Exactly. So cutting out laminating.
Oh my
right?
gosh.
So
yes.
the kids get to see, and not just the kids, but other adults, the parents get to see that we're preparing too, just like they are. So we can feel the same, and we can have empathy for one another.
I like this because you're right. You don't really see books. You don't see school from the teacher's perspective. Right. You see it from the student's perspective. So the students are nervous and they have homework, but what about the teachers?
Right. We're nervous too. They don't see that, because we have to put on, adults, we have to put on this brave face, but in actuality, we're nervous too. We get first day jitters. I don't sleep the day before school.
Really?
Right. It is. It's a lot. I'm like, oh my gosh, how will this kid interact with this one? Will I have tears the first day because I teach kindergarten? Oh. It's a lot. Yeah,
you do have a lot of tears. So of the three, which would you say is your favorite?
Oh goodness. Let's see. I'll have to say it's the First Day of School.
Okay.
Only because it's my baby. It was the very first book that I published. It's hard work, sweat, and tears, because I did not know what I was doing. And so it's getting easier as I publish each year. So I would have to say the First Day of School.
Okay. And most children's books will have some sort of activity inside or learning. What attributes do you have inside that will help your readers?
So most of the time people ask, what's the readability? What grade are the books for? Well, I kept the vocabulary the same. Okay. So it's geared towards K through 5. If I had to put a number on it. And for illustrations, a kindergarten can be engaged, a first grader, second grader, but a second grader can begin to read this, and fifth grade can read it. So I didn't dummy it down. I kept the vocabulary there. I kept the learning experiences there. And I even had an adult, a teacher, say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. And so I had a teacher come back and tell me that they learned from my book.
That is awesome!
Yeah. Because Mrs. Ashbury's Hero, the third book I wrote, is about childhood cancer. So
you can see here.
Yeah, that's
really nice.
Yeah, so that's Nathan. He's my book character in there. And he was diagnosed with childhood cancer at the age of 3, came to my kindergarten classroom at 5. And so he brought his port to school. And it talks about him, his port.
Wow.
And it's and people are like, oh my gosh, should I really talk about that? Well, it opens up dialogue for differences in children.
Right.
So like if he had lost his hair, they'll, he looks different on the outside, but on the inside, he's still the same. So if there's a child, a deaf student, and they have a hearing aid, so it talks about the dialogue.
This is amazing.
Yeah, you can just talk about it.
And this is good too because you never know what they're going through at home.
Right.
So for children who live with the grandparent who is going through chemo, or their parent has chemo, then they can read the book and not feel so isolated.
Right. And then too, like if a child has a cold or they have the flu and they're out for a week, kids are naturally curious. They're going to ask, where is so-and-so? Where's my classmate? And so it offers some insight for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I personally loved her activity book. This is amazing. So it's for grades K through 2, but it has real
activities.
Thank you, Queen. Real activities inside. And I love that it's not just your typical 1, 2, 3 draw, connect the dots.
Right.
Like this is a real activity book.
Sight words.
Sight words.
Yes.
Thank you, Queen.
And powerful.
And powerful. Yes, she took her time to do this. So Rekia, where can they purchase your books?
So the 3 books are on Amazon and on my website, mrsashburysworld.com. The activity book is directly through the website, so mrsashburysworld.com. Yeah.
All right, you heard it here. So now you have another author to support. She has 4 books, so you might as well just buy the whole complete series and give each one of them out as gifts. Thank you so much. I will see you right back here tomorrow for another author on the 12 Authors of Christmas.